Welcome to Pima County District 5 Supervisor Applicants Forum. I'm Barbara Becker, your moderator for this evening's event. Assisting me this evening from the League of Women Voters of Greater Tucson is our timekeeper, Sue Allman. There are 6 applicants tonight: Luis David Araiza Sr., Richard Hernandez, Andrés Cano, Kimberly Baeza, Cynthia Sosa, Karla Bernal Morales. So due to time constraints, we will be limited on the number of questions that get formally asked. I apologize up front if we're unable to get to your question. I need to explain a few things about our process. First, you'll notice that Ms. Allman raising signs. These signs are being held up to tell the speakers how much time they have left to speak. Should the candidate continue after the stop sign has been raised, I will interrupt the speaker. We want to make sure that everyone has an equal opportunity to answer each question without interruption. Second, each applicant will have 90 seconds, or a minute and a half, to introduce themselves and their platform, and 90 seconds, minute and a half, to respond to a question, and 1 minute for a closing statement. We will rotate who goes first with each question. For those of you who haven't used WebEx before, you can adjust how the forum displays using the layout button at the top of the viewer. There are several options. Pick the one that you prefer most. To ask questions, there's a Q&A button on the bottom right of your screen. You can type your question to the applicants there, and we will compile them to ask the panel members if time allows. You will be able to see your own question, but not those submitted by other members of the public. If you're joining by phone, unfortunately, you'll only be able to listen to the forum. You will not be able to submit questions. So now let us begin the forum by each applicant telling us about themselves and why they're running for the office. We'll start with Luis David Araiza Sr. We can't hear you, you're on mute.
There, can you hear me now?
Yes.
I'd like to first thank my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, also the League of Women Voters. If there are any that are also from the League of Mexican American Women, thank you very much for being here also. I'm here to serve the residents of Ward 5 and all of Pima County. I see myself as a public servant. Every ward represents a unique segment of Pima County, and Pima County is family to me. I am honored to be a Ward 5 candidate and having the opportunity to represent Pima County and all of our families. We are all in this together. Also, I'd like to say that my background is rooted in education. It is also rooted in serving our people. I recall working on Thanksgiving in the Barrio, working with Richard Elias and opening up Lawrence Park. Richard Barker from El Pueblo Center. Roberto Godoy, who I served with on the board there at Fred Archer Center. Also the chiefs of police of Tucson and South Tucson when I was the Loose Southside Coalition president 3 times. And basically, I have a deep Catholic background. I talk about resources and filling goals and dreams.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Richard Hernandez. Richard?
I don't have a Richard on.
Oh, all right. Andrés Cano. You're on mute. Unmute yourself. Andrés, unmute yourself.
Can you hear me now, Barbara?
Yes, we can hear you.
All right, thank you so much. I also want to thank the League of Women Voters, the Board of Supervisors for hosting this important forum. And most importantly, I also want to thank Supervisor Adelita Grijalva for her years of service to Pima County and certainly to District 5. My name is Andrés Cano, and tonight I look forward to a robust conversation with all of the candidates about why they're in the running for this vacancy. My story began in District 5. It's where my public service began as an intern and then as a policy aide working alongside Supervisor Elias for more than 7 years. After working with Pima County, I had the honor of being elected by the people of District 3 and District 20 to serve them in the State House, where in my final year, I served as the House Minority Leader. This breadth of knowledge and over 15 years of experience in state and local government makes me well equipped to be ready to get running on day one to serve as county supervisor. And most importantly, what I bring to the table is a true compassion and connection to community. The folks who have helped elect me to office are the folks who have stood with me side by side, and it's deeply rooted in the connection to District 5. I look forward to talking with all of the candidates tonight, listening to their ideas, and certainly presenting mine about how the county needs to move forward and how District 5 needs effective, results-driven leaders. I intend to be that supervisor, and I look forward to our conversation.
Thank you. Kimberly Baeza.
Good afternoon. I appreciate the opportunity to participate in this panel. I am not originally from Tucson, but the natural beauty and the outdoors is what drew me out here in the 20-aughts. I came here as a student, and I stayed here for the opportunity to have the wealth of natural resources, the beauty, and the vibrant community readily available and accessible. And so I love this region. I want to see it thrive. I've worked in government for over 10 years in Pima County government specifically. I have a strong background in regulatory compliance, in conservation science, and these are all attributes of the region that the community cherishes. And I see myself as one of those individuals. You know, I am one of those individuals that cherishes these natural resources, and I want to conserve them. I also know that, you know, this community is made strong by people, and I commit to making decisions that are informed by the community's needs, and there are many, but there's also many opportunities to do good with the extensive resources available to Pima County.
Thank you. Cynthia Sosa.
Yes, hi. I'm going to assume everyone can hear me if I am not told otherwise. I'm excited to see over almost 70 attendees to this. Hello, everyone. My name is Cynthia Sosa. I am a proud resident of District 5. I was born in Mexico and grew up in El Paso, Texas. And now, as an adult, I chose Tucson as my home. My formal education is in engineering, where I've worked in the private sector for over 10 years. But my heart's calling has always been community engagement. I've always been a proponent of community involvement, which is why I have decided to submit my candidacy for a Board of Supervisor for District 5. I have been a volunteer and involved in various philanthropic efforts across the community, and in this position would provide the opportunity to make an even bigger impact in our community. Our community deserves a local government that is run with transparency, that works to our best interests, that will invest in safe infrastructure, that will support families and youth by investing in workforce development and education, and protect the environment for generations to come. I am a dedicated member of this community and will fight for us. I am passionate about building a strong system to support members of our community and ensure all voices are heard. I believe our board has a powerful role in shaping a more unified and equitable and sustainable future for all of Pima County. Thank you.
I'm sorry, Karla Bernal Morales.
Thank you. Good evening, everyone. Thank you, Barbara, and thank you to the League of Women Voters for organizing this important forum, and to all of the caring community members that are joining us tonight. It's a true reflection of the investment that the community has on the selection of their decision makers and leaders. My name is Karla Bernal Morales. I'm proud to stand up as a candidate for the Pima County Board of Supervisors in District 5. My vision for this district is simple: to improve the quality of life for all of Pima County residents. If appointed, I am personally committed to constructively and collaboratively work with every board supervisor, our county administrator, and the staff to help move our county forward. My immediate priorities will be to actively listen to my constituents by hosting accessible policy roundtables in the district, learning fast on how the county functions, and adding advocacy and voice, my advocacy voice on local expertise on economic development, workforce development, and regional intergovernmental collaborations so that we're more effective and competitive as a greater region. Finally, I believe in the power of partnership. I am committed to building bridges that lead to real progress for the people of Pima County. Thank you so much for the time, everyone.
Thank you. And now we'll start with our first question. What community organizations or movements associated with District 5 have you participated in? And we will start the answers with Andrés Cano.
Thank you, Barbara. I was born and raised in District 5 and have been able to work deeply with many community organizations over those 15 years. I think what's really special about my community service is that I started young. One of the organizations that is near and dear to my heart that taught me about community organizing is an organization that unfortunately no longer exists, but it was called Pro Neighborhoods. Pro Neighborhoods is where I worked hand in hand with neighborhood leaders to be able to effectively advocate for our community. And that's just one example of my introduction to public service at a very young, early age. I've had the honor of overseeing lots of initiatives focused on public health, which is a key component of the county supervisor role. For more than 4 years, I served as the chair of the National Latino AIDS Awareness Day Planning Committee here in Southern Arizona, where we were able to bridge the gap between our communities of color and ensuring that HIV treatment and prevention was a priority for our region. I also served on the Planned Parenthood Arizona Board of Directors, where I met lots of people who are committed to the fight for reproductive equity and healthcare. And currently, I am honored to serve on the boards of directors for Literacy Connects, which is a premier institution that is making a difference in workforce development and training, including also serving on the El Rio Health Foundation Board of Directors. These organizations and my commitment to them represent the deep connection that I have to District 5. And Barbara, those are just a few examples.
Thank you. Kimberly Baeza. Kimberly, you're on mute.
Yes, Tucson is special in that it has such a robust population, community of organizations that are working to make our city and the greater Pima County region better. I have volunteered for cleanup efforts along the Santa Cruz River. I think the Santa Cruz River is such a special feature in our community. And I'm very excited to see a lot of organizations collaborating on projects to improve it, to attain new designations that hopefully lead to better outcomes for communities near it and in perhaps more distant, just having a more vibrant riparian corridor. So I've participated in cleanup efforts, in habitat restoration efforts, and intend to continue doing it. And of course, supporting those who do the work to make our community more livable.
Thank you. Cynthia Sosa.
Yes, hi. I have volunteered and been involved in various philanthropic efforts. I like to highlight two in particularly. I have participated in Big Brothers Big Sisters in a specific program in the Mentor 2.0. I was actually part of the pilot cohort for this program at Amphi High School. And the purpose of this program was to partner with a high schooler and stay with them throughout their high school career to ensure not only that they had a big sister, in my case, to share their struggles with or have someone to lean on, but to also help them in career preparedness, for them to have a plan or to have even exposure to possibilities outside of high school when they graduate. And I think this just shows my commitment to investing in the workforce development. The other one I'd like to highlight is United Way VITA. This is a tax preparation program that supports low income families. Me and my husband have actually been volunteers there for over 3 years. And this is just showing my commitment to financial literacy. I think this is very important. It's an aspect that I think the low income community needs to have to be able to overcome and continue to grow. Thank you.
Thank you. Karla Morales.
Thank you, Barbara. I'd like to start off by saying that I've lived, worked, and raised my family here in District 5. I'm a proud graduate of the Pima Community College and the University of Arizona. I've spent my career focused on creating opportunities right here in this district. When I moved to Tucson, I came here and went to Mansfield Middle School, Tucson High, Pima Community College, and the U of A. So I'm very familiar. I'm not coming in to learn District 5. I'm ready to do the work, and I'm ready to continue the work that I've been doing in the last 25 to 30 years. Through my role as the Vice President of the Arizona Technology Council, I've worked closely with local businesses, school districts, and nonprofit organizations, and a lot of government partners throughout District 5. I've led initiatives for investment in infrastructure and innovation in some of our most unrepresented communities. I've collaborated with United Way's Days of Caring. I've also served as the chair of the Tucson Hispanic Chamber of Commerce, where I built deep relationships with families, entrepreneurs, and the community leaders across the district. I understand the challenges and the challenges and the questions that our community faces and our residents face, from economic uncertainty to lack of access to quality healthcare and housing. I spent years building coalition to tackle those issues head on. So I'm ready to continue to do that and bring that expertise and that experience to the Board of Supervisors.
Thank you. Araiza.
Thank you very much. So far, we have not talked about the elderly, who are a very important part of our constituency. So far, we haven't talked about dropouts and the dropout rate. When I was working at Sunnyside, it was the highest dropout rate in the entire city and the entire area there. And we worked hard and diligently to try to bring it down. Unemployment is going to be a big issue here. So is infrastructure development and maintenance. The other thing is maintaining a smooth operation among various aspects of Ward 5. I remember when I was working for Keno Hospital, there was a big issue there where $1 million worth of pharmaceutical drugs were stolen basically from the pharmacy. It was under, at the time, the county, but it was taken care of. Also, that's the way Banner had been created. We got out of the hospital field, and it was a good thing in many different ways. So we have to be diligent, we have to be careful, we have to be accountable, and we have to be transparent. And we have to also know our limits, because we do not want to overextend ourselves, and we do not want to create any controversies within our communities. We have too many things to deal with here, and I think that we're there for the people. I have an open door policy, always have been, always willing to do that.
Thank you.
To back that up.
Thank you.
Yes.
Okay. The next question is, what do you think the root causes are to our housing crisis, and what solutions do you think the county should focus on, and why? So, and also let me say, if you need me to repeat the question, let me know, I can do that. And this time we'll start with Kimberly Baeza.
Yeah, the root causes of the affordable housing crisis are many. Um, it is difficult to see how many people in our community are struggling to afford a roof over their heads. I think the solutions are many, and I think the solutions the Pima County is implementing some, which is super important. In the last month, they um, have approved moving forward with transactions that make county-owned properties available for low-income housing. And I would support additional review of properties that are suitable for that type of transaction and for that type of development. I also support working with many community organizations that are doing, and other local governments. City of Tucson is doing a lot of work in this area, which is wonderful to see. I occasionally drive by the Miracle on Oracle and some other housing projects, and I think we need more of that. And so the county, along with other local governments, I think need to continue the collaborations and strengthen collaborations to address this urgent need in our community. Because, okay, thank you. I believe you were muted.
Cynthia Sosa, I'm sorry.
Thank you. I appreciate that. I agree with Kimberly. This is a multifaceted problem that I think is going to have to be multi-department, multi-layeral across Arizona and federally to address different aspects of affordable housing. Similar to Kimberly, the Milagro housing that is actually right near me is a great first start. There are also multiple other housings that I know are going around, and particularly in my local direct neighborhood, and that I'm excited to see is supporting families. And so I think we need to be able to work along with each other, with the city of Tucson, but as well as the state level. And we're going to have to find a way to work at the federal level to address different facets at each different layer of government. If we're talking about homelessness, that is also a multifaceted issue that I think we're going to have to try to attack in various different ways. But we also have to make sure that we address this issue in an ethical way, and remember that all of the people that we are trying to support and we're trying to find ways out of homelessness also have their humanity to keep in touch. So I'm excited to start finding new ways of working together to solve this multifaceted problem.
Thank you. Karla Morales.
Thank you. I would have to echo the sentiment and thoughts of my fellow candidates. I think that there is a significant focus that we need to have on stagnant wages in our community members. They're not matching or aligning with the rising cost of the market right now. Pima County is known for having high poverty rates, as well as limited housing supply. So even for those individuals that are not within the federal poverty level and might be able to possibly afford the housing that they're interested in, there's still the issue of supply. I think that addressing this issue requires comprehensive strategies, including increasing affordable housing development, as was mentioned by my colleagues on the call, and really enhancing wage growth. We need to have a conversation with our industry partners and talking about providing high quality jobs, high paying jobs that provide an opportunity not just to make the monthly expenses be met, but providing those wages that are really going to provide the possibility of saving enough money for affordable housing, as well as providing supportive services for low-income residents. again, I echo the multifaceted component to this question, and I think it's going to take collaborative efforts.
Thank you. Luis, Araiza. Luis?
Oh, yes, finally. Okay. Yeah, I lost signal there. With regard to, we have a lot of people here in District 5 that live in trailer courts. Interesting that what's going on is that, the lease on these trailers is going up dramatically. So you've got people on Social Security, you've got people on SSD or SSI. And we also, I've been a case manager with COPE, with HOPE, with many different agencies that do provide public housing for the seriously mental ill and others. And when you deal with drug, alcohol, when you deal with homelessness, it's a mixed bag, but it needs to be addressed. And it needs to be addressed at the community level, City of Tucson, City of South Tucson, and the county. We need to work together. Frank Romero, a great guy, he started Nosotros also. He used to work on the CDBG grants, which is community development block grants. We need that. We need a war on poverty. We need to make changes. I believe in no baby, no child, no family left behind. And the rural areas right now are hurting. They're hurting in terms of unemployment. And like a couple of people said, marginal wages. I mean, we're talking very small. And then if you get a job in Tucson, how are you going to get there? The city of Tucson today, the city council was thinking.
Thank you.
Um,
Thank you.
Paying for transportation again with SunTrans.
Thank you. Thank you. Andrés Cano.
Thank you, Barbara. I was born and raised in District 5 and was raised by a single mom who provided for my brother and I using Section 8 vouchers. So boosting affordable housing is a deeply personal issue for me. It's why, as the House Minority Leader at the state capitol, I was able to support a bipartisan budget that was $16 billion and that provided a historic investment in our housing trust fund. We were able to negotiate $100 million to go toward this critical lifeline for Arizona families. District 5 has a housing and humanitarian crisis that we must address. And this is a holistic approach that's going to need a regional, all hands on deck intervention. We need to not have our county jails be a place that is trying to be our place of compassion and care for people who are unsheltered, who are poor, and who have mental health abuse and substance abuse issues. And when we step back, what we know is that Pima County and the Board of Supervisors is making incredible investments, Barbara, to be able to mitigate this kind of intervention. The Transition Center that is primarily impacting and targeted for people who are experiencing homelessness has seen over 2,000 people use these services. These are the kinds of investments that are incredibly important as the Board of Supervisors tries to tackle this issue with our regional partners. And as County Supervisor, I intend on continuing this progress that the board has set forth.
Thank you. Thank you. Next question. Share what you know about the Sonoran Desert Conservation Plan and its importance to District 5 and Pima County. And we will start the questions with with Cynthia Sosa. Cynthia?
Yes. Okay. I'm not well versed on this plan, I will have to admit, but I can speak to my efforts towards environmental and sustainability. I think the first thing that I'd like to focus on is water conservation. At the state level, we're definitely seeing a negotiation issue with our water resources and then our allocation across the state as well. I'd like to tackle that issue primarily as a focus in the environment. I also know there's other issues going or other efforts going on that may be attacking our environment, such as the I-11. I know there. Luckily, we have a win The state retracted back their approval of I-11. So I'm very proud and excited to see that the efforts for environment conservation are ongoing, and I hope to continue to support those efforts. Thank you.
Thank you. Karla Morales.
Right, the Pima County's initiative to balance conservation efforts with sustainable development and ensuring protection for the region's natural and cultural resources, while still considering and accommodating for the growth that we want to have in Arizona. I think that it is incredibly vital that we protect the waterways and their surrounding habitats, which are crucial for the wildlife and the plant species. It's also important to maintain habitat connectivity, ensuring the ecological corridors remain intact to allow species movements and genetic diversity. There's this conversation can obviously be taken probably another hour conversation. I think it's important for us to have that conversation about safeguarding our cultural sites and taking into consideration the growth that we want to have in our district. But it is important for us to protect the historical and archaeological sites that reflect the region's rich cultural history. And I know it's important to many of our constituents in District 5 and something that I want to have, as I mentioned at the beginning of my introduction, as part of the conversations and those meetings with constituents and those policy conversations within the district.
Thank you. Araiza.
I love the river walk that we have in District 5. I love the Arizona Sonora Desert Museum. It's one of my favorite places. I love walking through nature, and I can think of Patagonia and how the bird sanctuary is such a beautiful place. I think that Tucson can be very creative about tourism and bringing people in to enjoy the desert. Interestingly enough, I don't know if any of the board members know this, but the saguaro, which is one of our great symbols, cannot survive without the bat. And if there's that upheaval there, you're going to have problems. The bat comes in and basically does its thing and takes care of that saguaro. And there's a balance in nature that we have to help. We've got tribal lands and so many other things that are beautiful because, there's that respect for nature. And I think that we can utilize that with our indigenous backgrounds and populations.
Thank you. Andrés Cano.
Thank you. The award-winning Sonoran Desert Conservation Plan is one of the smartest policies that the Board of Supervisors has ever adopted. I wish that it is modeled in all communities throughout our state. This is an environmentally conscious plan by the board that has encouraged smart growth in our region, that has protected our native species, and most importantly, that has also ensured that our District 5 residents have access to safe and clean air, water conservation standards that will boost our region. And I want to also expand upon the fact that ecotourism has been a part of this discussion. What makes Pima County so special and District 5 so special? It's our people, it's our habitats, it's our culture, it's our history, and it's our traditions. As county supervisor, one of the main tasks that we have is overseeing land use in our region. And I fully intend as county supervisor to ask a couple of questions as it relates to the Sonoran Desert Conservation Plan and our land use. Does it promote smart growth? Does it protect our environment? And does it benefit our community? Those are some of the core tenets that guide my interest in serving as a District 5 supervisor. And I've had incredible mentors like Supervisor Richard Elias and Congressman Adelita Grijalva who have shepherded this adoption of this plan. And I look forward to continuing their legacy as the next District 5 supervisor.
Thank you. Kimberly Baeza.
I agree with Mr. Cano. The Sonoran Desert Conservation Plan is an absolute gem of a policy, of a program. and that benefits everyone in Pima County. District 5 is special in that it has the Tucson Mountain Park and Saguaro National Park. These places are what drew me out here in the first place, and I'd be 100% committed, steadfast in my support on continuing to build on this important conservation achievement. It took decades to put together, and in the decades since it was adopted, we have built on it. We now have the multi-species conservation plan and the Section 10 permit from the U.S. Wildlife Service that allows for development. And it bears repeating that the natural landscapes of this region is what makes it special, where the wealth, a lot of the wealth is. The Sonoran Desert Conservation Plan, in all the conservation programs in alongside the other publicly owned properties, is one of the reasons that this is such a special place to live, and it promotes economic development because people want to move to places that have
Thank you.
ready access to recreation. And
Thank you. Okay, our next question is, why is the Prosperity Initiative so important for District 5, and how can the county work to implement and achieve its goals? And we'll start with
I'm sorry.
Karla Morales.
Barbara, is it okay to repeat the question?
Yes. Why is the Prosperity Initiative so important for District 5, and how can the county work to implement and achieve its goals? And we'll start with Karla Morales.
The Prosperity Initiative is important to District 5, as I think it is important for all the other districts across the county. I think I'm going to give you probably the most simple answer and direct answer, and that's going to be collaboration and compromise. I think that we need to think about our district and think about it from a futuristic, looking at it from in the future, looking to make sure that we address the issues that are important to our community and to our district, focusing on economic development, focusing on the synergy between economic development and workforce development. I think the moment that we decide to focus on our constituents, on our community members in our districts, and elevating them and providing them those skills that they need to be successful and prepared for the industry needs, it will subsequently impact economic development as well. And I think that can only happen with the collaboration between, like I said earlier, local government, our secondary education partners like the Pima Community College and the University of Arizona, and then our local governments to provide those wraparound services that are needed to continue our district to move forward. So for me, it's a simple answer as strengthening that collaboration and that partnership with community members that are interested in the growth and prosperity of our region.
Great, thank you. Araiza, excuse me.
What a beautiful way to look at things, because I think the Prosperity Initiative is, again, like a war on poverty. It's built to reduce poverty, to create economic stability. And I think that one thing that we can really utilize is trade schools. Dr. Storm there at Sunnyside helped build JTED. He was an awesome guy building and everything like that. And then how about Mrs. McCorkle, the one who's got a school named after, and just wonderful people. Zero unemployment is what I want. I want zero unemployment and maximum employment, especially in the rural areas. I think we've got people in the rural areas that really, really are landlocked in terms of transportation and so many other obstacles. I mean, yes, we need housing. We need jobs. We need action. And we can build that bridge with the city, with the state, with the feds, and be creative. We've got the Pasquayaqui tribe that's very helpful. We got the Tohono O'odham tribe that's very helpful too, with Ned Norris. He's great. Irene Sanchez there with the Pascuayaki tribe and other tribal members. They are great movers and shakers. And I think they can help us out with prosperity. Thank you.
Thank you. Andrés Cano.
Thank you, Barbara. Earlier, we talked about the historic significance of the Sonoran Desert Conservation Plan. I firmly believe that Pima County's Prosperity Initiative is one of those game changers for our region that will absolutely influence local policy for decades to come. It does us no good as a county to not look at the intersection of poverty, of economic insecurities, of lack of access to health care, child care, being able to create a pipeline for youth to go to college and be able to go to trade schools and to be able to get all of the resources that they need. And thankfully, what the Board of Supervisors is currently undergoing is an in-depth analysis to be able to see how the Prosperity Initiative aligns with every single one of our county departments so that we can ensure that county taxpayer dollars are protected. I believe I'm the product of one of these prosperity initiatives that started many years ago, which was the Summer Youth Employment Program. Imagine where we are able to provide every teenager that's ages 14 to 18 in Pima County with a guaranteed access to a summer youth employment program where we can introduce them to the workforce, where we can have them be able to get a job outside of school. These are the kind of initiatives that are super critical, and they are especially important as we face tremendous cuts from the federal administration, where we're going to have to look within ourselves and within our existing capacity, budget capacity, to be able to lift people up.
Thank you. Kimberly Baeza.
Thank you. Well, it makes me so proud of the initiative that the county has taken to address intergenerational poverty. And like affordable housing, it is something that has many causes, and it's a complicated issue, but there's a lot of, it's nothing new in our society, unfortunately. It's been looked into. There's copious projects, research projects that have looked at what can alleviate intergenerational poverty and help people attain a higher socioeconomic situation as an adult. And so I'm very grateful for the county, to the county, that they are implementing these policies to help people improve their quality of life. And this is through affordable childcare. I think we can be doing more to support working families and support them, and the people who are going to be working families themselves in the community later on. We want to give kids a leg up in early life, and it is a program that attempts to do this in a multifaceted way.
Thank you. Cynthia Sosa.
Yes, thank you. The Prosperity Initiative, I think, is a great example of how the county can work with multiple organizations inside and outside of the government to attack a problem at its core. I think one of the main issues that I feel strongly with that, and I've mentioned before, is the workforce development. I've already spent amounts of my time with giving my energy to trying to be a grassroots effort there of trying to develop educational efforts to prepare our youth to enter the workforce. And I think this is just everything else, like everyone else has already mentioned. I think this is a great starting point, but I think there can be more done to continue financial literacy and helping our working families to continue to overcome barriers and find equity for everyone in our communities. Thank you.
Thank you. The next question, we're going to start with the whole cycle again with Louise. So here's the question. What areas of policy will be important for the board to focus on during the rest of 2025 and 2026?
Yes, I have, I think the policies here that are so important are, let's get infrastructure in place and maintained. Another piece that's so important is, work on medical issues like working on COVID and AIDS prevention and so many other things, measles prevention, because there's certain things that are still very, very critical to the safety and health of our ward. And another thing that I think is so important is to make sure that the natural resources and energy are there. I think we need industry to come in. I think we need tourism to come in. I think that we need partnerships with Raytheon, with so many other places. Jim Click has built a lot of the Boys and Girls Clubs. He's helped with San Miguel High School. We have so many movers and shakers. We've got the owner of, I think it's the Angels, and so many other people. We've got a lot of people here that can help bring in economic resources, ideas, partnerships. The person that was here, one of the candidates with the Chamber of Commerce, awesome. That's really good. And that's a key piece right there too, the Chamber of Commerce. So we need to reach out. We need to work. We need to bridge things, no pun intended. I know that infrastructure and bridges go together. And the other thing is that we do have outdated bridges and everything like that. We need to worry about 1983.
Thank you.
It was landlocked.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, Andrés Cano.
Thank you, Barbara. We are living in unprecedented times with Donald Trump and Elon Musk threatening our quality of life. This is going to impact Pima County directly. $120 million in federal cuts are what are anticipated. And so I'm bringing my skills to the Board of Supervisors, having navigated multi-billion-dollar budgets, being able to work across the aisle at the state capitol with Governor Hobbs and a Republican legislature to come together and to look within. We've got a $1.7 billion budget as a county, and we've got to look for efficiencies. We've got to look for ways that we can partner with our jurisdictions to be able to talk and advance all of the programs that we've talked about tonight. And I also believe that we also have to fight with the state cost shifts that are continuously handed down to counties in Arizona. Pima County subsidizes state operations to the tune of about $120 million per year. And so we need to absolutely have that robust conversation about budgeting and ensure that county taxpayers are protected. And while we're also having that conversation, we have to remember, we've not mentioned them tonight, the 7,000 employees that Pima County employs. We're a major employer in the region, and we have been asking our employees how we can do better. They're telling us that they want better compensation, that they want the ability to be able to be celebrated for the work that they do. Without the workers of Pima County, our community does not function, and we need to invest in them. Those are my priorities moving forward.
Thank you. Thank you. Kimberly.
We are in unprecedented times, and I think that we're going to have to think about solutions for how we're going to overcome the funding shortfalls. The state, we get less and less money from the state, and we have a lot of needs in Pima County. I go back to the affordable housing crisis and how it needs to be addressed, and how we may need to look at other ways, other tools to grow our general fund so that we can address these important community needs and continue to provide the services that District 5 and Pima County deserve from county government. We also need to steward what we have already, and I anticipate too that in the near term we'll have to think about our transportation planning and funding of transportation projects. RTA Next is coming up for a vote, and we need to take a hard look about whether it is something that is aligned with the priorities of the county and District 5 in particular.
Thank you. Cynthia.
Yes, I think Kimberly has really set the stage for what I wanted to talk about. Although I agree with everything that's already been mentioned, I wanted to highlight RTA Next. I think RTA Next is an example of how we have taken care of ourselves. We've worked amongst everyone in our local community or extended community and really have invested in ourselves. Kimberly mentioned that RTA Next is coming up for a vote, but it's actually not coming up to a vote soon enough. I believe that we are losing an advantage here to bring up RTA Next up to a vote in the next upcoming year. There's been a lot of conversations and negotiations in RTA Next, but I think we are really losing opportunity here to continue to invest in ourselves by pushing this vote out to next year. I think RTA Next is a great example of how we have invested in ourselves in safety and infrastructure, and we need to continue doing so. And I think RTA Next is an example of how we have been able to successfully do that. I think everyone that's been involved in RTA Next shows and has said that it has been a success. And I think these types of efforts need to continue on, and we need to use this as an example of successful working together across across our entire Southern Arizona region. Thank you.
Thank you. Karla.
Thank you so much. For the sake of not being repetitive, it's always fun being the last one to answer, right? Because everybody has mentioned some amazing and very similar. We are all very like-minded, hence why we're all here seeking this position. But I will echo everything that everybody has mentioned, but I will also add that there are areas where the county could also evolve and realign. Having a conversation about streamlined service delivery with the city. As discussed, there's room for coordination with the city of Tucson. Pima County and the city of Tucson have had a great relationship. But I think there's more conversations that we could have about reducing the duplication. There's a lot of conversations that are important to have about housing and social services and the infrastructure investments. I would also encourage to act more strategically about economic development. With the challenges that we have with the Trump administration, I think it's important for us to really tap into the opportunities that we have with economic development with our #1 trade partner and closest neighbor, which is Mexico. While the county plays a role in workforce and land use, we could be more proactive in aligning strategies with other major cities and innovation sectors and regional partners. We could also really have a conversation about expanding early childhood education and family stability. We could really support the services and foundation to health and economic mobility.
Thank you.
I would add, I'm sorry?
Thank you. You've run out of time. And my heart is broken because we have some wonderful questions that we have not been able to ask, but we've run out of time. So we're going to start with the closing statements. We'll start with Andrés Cano.
Thank you, Barbara. I want to thank all of the candidates who submitted their name, and I've been very heartened by our conversation, and I look forward to continued partnership with each and every single one of you to make District 5 the best district we can be. I have over 15 years of experience in state and local government. In my current role, I've had the opportunity at the City of Tucson to work with our federal and state partners to be able to bring money home and to deliver results for the people of District 5. I've served this district, elected 3 times to the State House of Representatives, and most importantly, what I want folks to know is that District 5 is where I learned all of the compassionate public service that guides all of my work to date. I want to particularly give thanks to the League of Women Voters for hosting this important discussion, and most importantly for the County Board of Supervisors for allowing this process, this public input, to continue as we move forward with this vacancy. I look forward to my conversations with the community and with the board members in the coming days.
Thank you. Kimberly Baeza. I hope I say your name right. It's so pretty.
Baeza.
Araiza.
Thank you. I really appreciate the opportunity to meet my fellow candidates and to connect and learn more from people who are passionate about this district and about this community. I love this community. I treasure all the amenities I have at my disposal. Though we're in challenging times, I am optimistic that we have a lot of good things going on in Pima County and great ideas on how to make it better, District 5 and Pima County as a whole. And I, it would be the honor of a lifetime, as I've said, to be appointed for this consequential position. And thank you.
Thank you. Cynthia Sosa.
Yes, well, I'd like to first thank you, the League of Women Voters, for putting this event and for all the participants that have joined. I am a proud member of this beautiful community, and I am just so glad to see that all the candidates here are such like-minded and I'm sure we're all so proud and ready to fight for our community. And I am so glad that I got this opportunity. I am ready to hit the floor running and start really working for all of our constituents. I want to be a voice for all of our community members in this community. Thank you for this opportunity.
Well, thank you. Karla Morales.
Thank you so much, Barbara. And like everyone else, I'd like to thank the League of Women Voters for the opportunity to be here. I have to be honest with you all. I am incredibly inspired and impressed with the commitment that our community has to move us forward. I think that our supervisors have a tough task ahead of them because everybody here is committed. I'm very fortunate to have been inspired also by the great women that have led the city and this county. I had the great support of our mayor, Regina Romero, during my campaign for Pima Community College Board, and also former supervisor Adelita Grijalva. And the voters who supported me for the college board recognized my track record, my leadership, and my vision. I take that trust seriously, and I see the role of supervisor as a continuation and expansion of my commitment to District 5. I'm very encouraged by the enriching conversations and to the league for making this happen today. My lifetime of professional career has been here at Pima County. I've traveled across the nation.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We really appreciate it. And Luis Araiza, Senior.
Thank you very much. Yes. I want to thank the league. I want to thank Adelita Grijalva for setting up a great foundation, and we can follow that foundation. The board, the same way. It's a good foundation. It's a good beginning. We have ideas that I think can also help in the long run, because I can only think that with my experience, with my love for the community and knowing the community quite well, and a lot of the movers and the shakers, that I'm more than qualified for this position. I look forward to working with all of you. I look forward to working with the board. Those of you that are the candidates that are from out of state or out of town, welcome to Tucson. It's a beautiful place. It's a wonderful place. You know, I know that Californians and other people are coming in. I've run into so many people from Wisconsin. I've run into so many people from different parts of the country. It's beautiful. It's wonderful.
Thank you.
Love it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We want to thank all of our applicants for an outstanding forum, and thank you to the members of the audience for joining us tonight. This program was brought to you by Pima County and assisted by the League of Women Voters of Greater Tucson. We wish you a good night. Thank you.